Good morning, welcome. My name is Chituga Chinda. This is Good Friday. It is a public holiday. It is also a holy day of obligation. That is, if you are a Catholic or some other Christian sects, it is a holy day of obligation. It commemorates the crucifixion and death of Jesus Christ. You know, the crucifixion, the death, and resurrection of Jesus is the cornerstone of Christianity. It is a time of the year where we are reminded that our habits, our bad habits, our vices, the things that we glorify, the things that enslave us, we are reminded that we can die to it. What is that habit of yours that is self-destroying you, that is self-sabotaging you? Whenever you make 2 steps forward, you make 3 backwards. What is that habit of yours that is causing this sabotage? The message today is that you can die to it. You can die to your desire for sense pleasure. You can die to your desire for, your greed can die. It can. People say, oh, it's a normal thing. You make excuses for what you enjoy, but you see its effect in our society. We can die to corruption. Or we want to make show of how wonderful the big man is. We sing, a biggie man, a biggie man, a biggie man, a biggie man. A biggie man, a biggie man, a biggie man, a biggie man. We sing, you know the for size, oh, a biggie man, a biggie man. A biggie man, a biggie man. That is a wonderful song. At the end of the day, it does not provide us with infrastructure. We need to die the stupidity in our politics. We need to kill, we need to crucify ignorance in our politics. It's easy to point at another person and call him ignorant, but if we are being honest, you are ignorant about something. And that ignorance might just be detrimental to how you function. But how do you know that you are ignorant to a thing? You must introspect. Rivers State, a state in Nigeria, governed supposedly by the 1999 Constitution, is no longer administered as required by law. The president claims that there is a state of emergency, a state of crisis requiring emergency rule. Well, today makes it 1 month since the proclamation of a state of emergency. And right-thinking Nigerians, people living in River State, having experienced emergency rule for over 30 days, do not see its relevance, its continued relevance after today. Why do I say this? Because there is nothing warranting the suspension of a governor and the House of Assembly as it currently stands. If Mr. President and his lackey wants the governor impeached, then the suspension should be lifted from both the House of Assembly and the governor, so that proper impeachment proceedings go on. Remember that the governor is conferred with immunity by the law. and this immunity inheres in him, suspension or no suspension. I also want you to recall that the governor was wanted for 400 billion naira embezzlement case by EFCC. This is before he was elected. He was sheltered at the government house, Port Harcourt, until the day he was elected, protected by the now minister, then governor. Also recall that this governor was the accountant general of the government of the now minister of the Federal Capital Territory. If they feel that this man is troublesome and must be removed, the integrity of the state must be preserved and the laws guiding the removal of a governor should be followed. The idea of retaining the governor's immunity but sidestepping his ability to govern his state in order for you to control it threatens the integrity of this nation. Any political leadership that insists on the propriety of the emergency rule in Rivers State is entertaining. In fact, we are encroaching totalitarianism because you are governing the state by your whim and not by the laws of the Federation. I learned earlier in the week the administrator who is unelected and was not returned by INEC as governor of this state sent an invitation to the sitting governor of Rivers State, inviting him to come and give account of stewardship to him. It is a disgusting thing. But I urge you not to react emotionally. Because when you yield to your emotions, we make mistakes and there will be confusion. If there is anything, I urge you to die to your emotional reaction or emotional response. Understand that yes, the emotion flows in me. I am heated. How dare you ask that of the governor of Rivers State? However, tension does not solve our problem. I also want to point out that under our law, the members of the armed forces are sworn to uphold the integrity of this nation and to protect the welfare of its citizens, the security and welfare of its citizens. This is not an invitation to governance. You know the weight of the oath you have taken as a member of the armed forces, and even though you are retired, you took a life oath, an oath that led to everything that you have become, every success you have attained, every achievement is tied to that oath. That oath is to defend the Constitution. So where the Constitution is being deliberately contravened, it is your duty to say no. These words are particularly for the sole administrator appointed for Rivers State by the president. That oath still carries weight. Even though you are retired, that oath still carries weight. You cannot claim to be ignorant of the laws governing Nigeria. You have lent yourself and made yourself a party to the contravention of our constitution. I urge you, I urge you on this Good Friday to think deeply, of the decisions you are taking. You know better that that is what I was told, or that those were my orders, is not an excuse. You've served long enough to take an independent decision on matters. Yes, there's the issue of state funds and how attractive it is. As a member of the armed forces, there is also the issue of integrity. The integrity of the state, the integrity of your person, the integrity of our institutions, and whether we are practicing a democratic governance or we are sliding into totalitarianism. Is it not a dangerous thing? I urge the administrator to pen his resignation and bring an end to this illegal occupation of Rivers State government institutions. Once again, it is a Good Friday. It is a Friday to die to our sins, to die to our errors, to learn from it, to correct our mistakes, and to move forward. Thank you for listening. I am Chitu Gachinda. Enjoy your holiday. Bye.